Okay, we are back again with another episode of the Feuding Bros, the show where we talk about everything football. And today we're talking Copa America and coming off the result of Argentina winning the Copa America for the second time in a row. Guys, Messi does it again. What are your thoughts?
Does he really?
No, that's the
He lifted the trophy. I saw him lift the trophy.
thing.
He's gonna take it. He's gonna take it. Of course,
That's going straight on the CV, man. Like,
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. We wouldn't take that. He participated. It's not like he was on the bench. Actually, he
he
played.
participated. He was there.
He was there. He was there, and he was on the field. Even though we didn't notice that much.
Yeah.
That's just another box checked for him. Just in his trophy room, consolidating his status. Is there any debate? Are there anybody to come and start any
There's no
debate?
more
Cristiano,
debate, man.
Messi, please. All right, let's talk about the future generation now.
That's been done. Like,
That's
since
been
the World Cup,
done.
that was done since the World Cup. There's always going to be one or two who doesn't
Always.
insisting. They're trying to find some other
Out of
argument.
desperation.
I mean, I've stopped talking about anything like that since the World Cup. Like, there's no debate
Right.
anymore. So, I mean, whatever happens, like from then to now, it was just extra stuff. It's just deep.
It's just extras. It's just
Correct.
extras.
The beef has been squashed already, and we already know who's the king of all time, regardless.
Dead and buried,
Yeah.
dead and buried, So, hey, again, Messi gets his trophy. Argentina in general gets the trophy. Deserved, absolutely, yes. The Copa and all the other teams showed pretty much no opposition of, of the level of Argentina. And, clear winners. They pretty much strolled through the competition all the way to the final. Never really had to, you know, never had to press on, never had to get out of second gear, never had to, do anything special. They really just got there, managed games well, experience, did the job, and for the most part, as soon as they get their goal, the game becomes completely trash. All right, there's no more football being played. It's just hitting and running and diving and fouling and yellows and reds. So the final was pretty entertaining. Latoro came in and did what he had to do. Because
The
otherwise,
job.
I don't know where the goal was going to come from, man.
Yeah, you couldn't see it.
Yeah.
Couldn't see it.
Especially not for Argentina, to be honest.
Yeah, not for Argentina. Yeah.
If they, I mean, like looking at the game, I mean, just Colombia was just the better
Yeah.
team
Clearly,
Mhm.
until Messi comes off.
Until
yeah.
Messi comes off.
Yeah.
Until Messi comes off.
Another big
Until Messi
debate right
comes off,
there.
Colombia was a better team if they had a little, just a little ounce of just being up front, just have some
Quality.
some
Yeah.
quality.
Mhm.
They would have won this game 2-3-0. But I mean, there was something lacking in their game. They have everything but, and I think as well the coaching from the coach was a little bit iffy. Like
Yeah, I don't know why this Diaz came off.
you are dominating the game. You're taking off Diaz. You're taking off James.
Yeah,
And, you're just going defensive. I didn't understand that. I did not understand that at all. You have Argentina where you want them.
exactly.
You've been dominated. They've dominated the game not only footballistically, but physically as well. They were first and second to every ball.
Mm.
It's like you could see that Argentina didn't really want it at some point. Sometimes,
Yeah.
they didn't really
Yeah.
want it. They didn't want to. Especially in the first half and halfway through the second half, they were not up to the challenge. And it looks like when Messi came off, that galvanized Argentina, and they
Right.
actually started playing much
Yeah,
better.
they play well.
Played better.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. Again, another big debate there, and I think it's just all for the better for Argentina. That they are better without Messi, because when he got injured and they missed that one game, I believe that was the last game of the group stage. They played better. Okay, so it's not like they were at a loss without him or anything. So that just reinforces where Argentina is at. If they carry on like this and no opposition comes, through, and in the name, I will say Brazil, right, which are the main ones, then Argentina is just going to keep rolling off, steamrolling this tournament, The Copa this year, general opinion on it was not great at all, honestly, it was not that great. It was just too physical, too stop and go.
Yeah, but just before we're gonna touch on the tournament later on, but I just want to focus on the game for now. Okay, so yeah, Freddie, I mean Thierry, what do you think of that final and yeah, just give us your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, like you guys said, Colombia was a better team until Messi came off. Really, Colombia really pushed them, pressed them. Argentina looked like they didn't really care too much. They didn't really want it that much. But what they're good at, and what we have to give Scaloni his props for, he can sense a game. He can feel a game. He can feel when things may be getting out of hands for them. Obviously, the Messi sub, he has to do it, but he doesn't even bring on Lautaro, which would have been probably what most people would do. He brings on I can't was it
Nico
Gonzalez brings on a winger, and they have a better shape for it. You put McAllister back in the midfield, Enzo McAllister and De Paul. I mean, that's a monstrous midfield, man. Like that's
Yeah.
that.
Raul De Paul, man, Jesus, this
Yeah,
guy,
man.
man,
This
this
guy,
guy, it's just the lungs of that team, man. This
he's
guy
a
does
workhorse,
not
man.
stop. It is
He's
not
a
stop.
workhorse.
He's
Yeah,
everywhere.
he's a workhorse. He's an
And
absolute
it is
workhorse.
good technically as well. Like it's got
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah,
Exactly, and it's good technically as well. So yeah, that midfield is up there with probably the best midfields, at least at international level. And yeah, they go they go back control of the game, and once they take control of the game, that's the thing with this Argentina team. They don't
just waiting for
necessarily
it.
need to be they don't need to be at their best. They have this confidence that they're gonna win, and it reminds me of a Real Madrid, of a City. Like you can batter them for 60, 70 minutes and they just don't panic. They just like, we're gonna win this game, like no matter what you do, so they're at that level where they have that confidence. So like for this said, Colombia gave it a go, but like you said, at the end they just lack a bit that quality. So in that region, really, they're the kings right now. Like nobody can compare. Like if they play at their best, nobody can handle them. And that's what I was saying. Like you need an Argentina not playing well for Colombia to win, and they didn't play well for most of the game. But when it mattered, they turned it on and they took control. And I mean, the three subs that come in what was it? It was the second half even of
that's
of,
right.
uh,
From
extra time. Yeah, they in the second half.
They don't come out. They don't come on till extra time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
They come on and make the difference.
and they make a difference. Literally, the three combined for the goal. So like you can't get better than that, So I mean, the best team won it. They didn't really have to break a sweat really to win this. So we're gonna talk about that too, because
I mean, about this game, this is what came to my head at the final whistle. It's like Messi has been carrying this thing for so many years.
Yeah,
and he was the guy that all these players turned to finally win the tournament and finally win the World Cup. And everything was on his shoulders. And the picture that I had this time is that now he's the old man, he's the frail dad, that's been that like his sons now have grown. They can take care of business now. So that is still there. But so we're carrying that. I know dad is struggling right now. So we're gonna carry you, dad, and we're gonna do it for you. That's the thing. You've done it for us for so many years, and now we are doing it for you. So don't worry, we got this. You've shown us the ropes. Now we're here for you. So that's the image that I had.
They carried him.
Yeah.
I mean, he missed a PK in the quarters.
So they carried him. Let's be honest, the team carried Messi in this tournament, but it doesn't take anything away from him, because he's still that guy. He's still him. So I mean, if Messi is not there for them to play for, I don't think they have the same kind of results.
That's right. Yeah,
they played for him, and I think as well they played for Di Maria in this final as well. And Di Maria in the second half was first half was non-existent. Second half, the guy woke up, man. I saw Di Maria take the ball and take people. I didn't know he could do that still.
He's 35. He's 35. He's still taking people on. And I mean,
moving down the wings and stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Obviously,
second half,
like you said,
woke up. It's like, okay, Messi's out. Now I'm taking care of business right now. We're gonna do it for Papi right there. So this is the image that I had, and Argentina, they weren't really tested. Only tested once against Ecuador. and they had a little scare. Then they went through that, and again in this final, tested a little bit. But throughout the competition, they had the easiest path to get there, and once they got
Yeah.
there, there was no doubt that they were
was
going
no
to take
doubt.
it in the end.
There
Yeah.
was no doubt.
Let's go back. Yeah, Freddie, you were mentioning the overall quality of this tournament as well.
Yeah.
What did you guys think about that?
Yeah, that's my main thing. The final was a little bit of a highlight of that, and the fact that we have the two best teams on the field for the final, but they were kind of in a headlock throughout most of the game until obviously the deadlock came in. But just backtracking a little bit, Argentina, as you mentioned just now, they had the easiest run, and they never even had to push it in order to get to the final. Looking at the other teams, there wasn't anybody. Like just watching the games, you could see maybe, as you said, Ecuador give them a scare. We saw Colombia doing really good. The football was good, but the overall level, the overall games, I can only remember a handful of games, and that's one hand, right?
That's testament to the tournament. Like,
Yeah,
there's not much to remember.
there's not much to remember. All I have in my head when I think about a random game this past month is just fouls and yellows, and referee just breaking the game and all of that. So yeah, I mean the Copa has a lot to worry about. I know they did it in a new format now. Having it in the US was just the icing on the cake of the disaster that the Copa was. It was absolutely garbage. I mean, the AFCON has a lot to teach to the Copa this year. Just in terms of organization, which the US
Which is crazy.
it's a disgrace. They completely fumbled the ball in so many ways. From broadcast to the pitch to just the attendance and security. We saw that in the final. The final was 90 minutes late. Okay, that's another one and a half.
That's just shameful.
That's disgraceful. Disgraceful for
just 2 years before the World Cup that you're gonna host as well, just to have
Exactly.
this kind of incidents it's not like we're in a small country like
Exactly.
we're in the US. Like
they have the biggest events here.
exactly. This kind of stuff should not happen. You should
It should
already
not.
be ready for that. The
Mhm.
security has to be your bread and butter. Like,
Exactly.
but we can talk about the quality of the pitches and all that. I mean, that's another thing. But the security,
Yeah.
that's the security. It just has to be. It just has to be. The first thing on your mind, and that has to be on top.
Yeah.
So that was shameful what happened in the final, and for
And
the
before that
final,
Uruguay game,
for the final to be delayed for for almost the length of an actual
the
game.
game. Yep.
They should look at themselves and just they have a lot of work to do.
And I really wish that they were talking about that more, because if it was anywhere else, we will never see the end of it. Especially if it was in Africa, if it was a third world country, they would completely destroy that country, wherever the host was, right? So yeah, I think they really need to, as you said, take a hard look in the mirror for especially the World Cup that is coming. The Copa wasn't great. We're hoping that they can level up real quick, because otherwise this will be an embarrassment for the US. They need a completely revamp on the whole organization and just the energy about football. Like, stop calling it soccer, first of all. Okay, I know that's a long running.
You got a big ass battle there. They're not gonna.
That's a big battle.
That's a never ending one. But look, as long as they keep calling it soccer, man, I don't think it's gonna work. Because look at what we're witnessing right now. The team itself is shamble, and they can't even manage a tournament. So there you have it.
Yeah,
Terry, let's jump in.
Yeah, I mean, Freddie has laid it all out, man. It's just poor. The organization was poor. I'm not gonna go back and repeat what he just said, but it's just very damning, because like the main point for me is, like, imagine if this. I was talking to Thibaut yesterday, and Thibaut, he follows football, but not like, he's not a hardcore fan. Like, he won't like tournaments like this. He doesn't watch. He might watch the Euro. I think he watched the Euro a little bit, but he won't watch like a Copa America and stuff. And I was telling him about everything that happened, and like all the bad organization, the security is a shambles. I mean, how can you get overwhelmed by fans at a final? How can you not have enough security at a final of an event?
I'll tell you why. It's all about the money. They just didn't want to pay enough people. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the only explanation there could be.
Yeah, that's true.
It could also be that they didn't take it as seriously as it should, because like you said, they're used to hosting big events here.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I mean, they're used to this kind of crowd. So I mean,
Absolutely.
there's not really an excuse. I think it's just a
They
lack
didn't
of,
care.
yeah. I think it's just a lack of the taking responsibility and
Mm.
just negligence all around.
Yeah.
Yeah, just negligence. And yeah, so I was telling him about everything that happened, and he was so shocked, and he hadn't heard about anything. And I was like, how have you not heard about it? He's like, I watch the news every day. I haven't heard anything. So I was like, wow, do you see this? If this was in Ivory Coast, if this was in Qatar, if this was in
Oh
even
yeah.
in somewhere
That
in
would have gone
Asia,
around the world. It would have gone
he
around
would
the
have
world.
gone around the
Three times
world.
over. Three
Headline.
times
He would
over.
have, yeah, you would have gone around, and they would have reminded us about it for
Yeah.
years.
For years. For years.
Anytime a country like that would have tried to host another tournament, they would have said, "This is what happened last time it was in that region, so we're not doing it." So it's
Friendly reminder.
incredible how much they've kept. Obviously, here we know about it, but it seems like around the world they didn't hear, they didn't know about this, and it's crazy. And we're supposed to have a World Cup here in 2 years. Are they going to be ready for that? It's going to be a bigger event. There's going to be more fans. There's going to be fans from all over the world.
Fanatics.
There's
Yep.
going to be fanatics. There's going to be rowdy fans. Like there's going to be. I mean, Latino fans are. They have a reputation. We know about that, and you know about that. You see that. Everybody knows about it. So
Yeah.
I don't know how you're surprised by them acting the way they did. That's how it is. And you've hosted a Copa America before.
Mhm.
So you know how to do it, and to just I think it's more to what Jan was saying. It's negligence. I think they didn't expect. They didn't take it seriously. They didn't think it was gonna be as important as it was.
They're trying to cut corners, man.
Huh?
They're trying to cut corners. I feel like that's
Yeah,
why
they tried to cut
it was a
corners.
big money grab because they shouldn't even have hosted it.
Yeah, they tried to cut corners, and it didn't work. So in terms of tournaments this year, AFCON for me, was the best by a long shot in terms of entertainment. You can talk about quality, the best players are in Europe, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yes, we know. But at the end of the day, I don't care who's playing in the soccer game. If it's entertaining, I'm going to watch.
Exactly.
So I have more fun watching, I don't even know, Mozambique versus Namibia, whatever. In the
because it's a package. I mean,
exactly.
A tournament, it's not just about good football. It's also about the atmosphere. It's also about the stories that are being written.
The vibe.
Also, the vibe. The culture. It's a mix of everything. It's all of that makes a successful tournament.
Yeah.
And this tournament, I mean, from outside looking in, this tournament lacked passion until the semifinals. Honestly, it started feeling like we were watching Copa America. I mean, at least me.
Yeah.
From the semifinals. 1 or 2 games before that, I mean, I enjoyed the Venezuela game. Venezuela against Canada was a really good game. But it's just like Freddie said. You can count these games on one hand, like just how many games where you were entertained. The rest of the time, it was just people fighting. It was just stop-start. There was not. I mean, I'm sure the passion was there, but it just was not reflected as it should have been. I mean, Copa America is always that mix of beautiful football and beautiful fans, beautiful culture, storylines. I mean, you can't really think of maybe Messi missed his penalty. That's probably one of the biggest things they pay. You probably think
biggest surprise.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much.
There was no storylines.
There was nothing. If Colombia won, and maybe they were gonna find something, but redundant.
Well, it's just a combination, and it was a bit lacking until the end there. But let's move on from that, and let's get back to the football. Of course, the USA hosted, and we know about the organization. But let's have a word, since they are the host. Let's have a word about their, the U.S. national team and how they fared in this tournament. There was a lot of big things I was expecting from them, and for them not to get out of the group was a tragedy. What do you guys think of U.S. national team performance in this tournament?
Man, I don't know how else to say it. It's just the biggest embarrassment for the US in the world of football. Okay, it's a one huge embarrassment on all fronts. All right, the team, especially, just not making it out of the group. That was the only thing you guys were asked to do. That was your only job. Okay, it's at home. Let's just get out.
A group that had Panama and Bolivia.
Okay, I mean, we talked about the games when they did happen. I'm not going to go back on that, but it adds to the embarrassment. Okay, they had a promising team. They could have done better from the outside looking in, from what we're seeing. And they fumbled the ball. There was no way they were going to come to you play against Uruguay and dominate them and win that game. So at that point, it was already lost. They lost. They won. They lost. They lost against Bolivia. That's when Panama. Sorry. That's when the tournament took a downturn. All right, and that's the good thing about having only two teams that come out, right? Because it filters all that, BS or I mean, again, in the AFCON for Ivory Coast,
it's the doubt. It just removes the doubt. You know what you need to do, and if you win, go through. If you don't win, you're out, or you need a draw here, or you need. But it's not like, okay, I'm gonna get this result, but still I have to wait until this guy plays and this guy plays.
Exactly.
I think that's a scrap.
It's not necessary, honestly, as you said. It's not necessary in my opinion. I think the way it is right now, the way the Copa was, the original format, the old school format, it just adds more intensity. Even though we didn't see that in the Copa, I feel like if it was for the AFCON, if it was for the Euros, you would have seen a little bit more intensity because from the first game, you're playing your whole tournament. It doesn't have to do with math anymore, as you were just saying. So, yeah, I can just end it there. The US, total embarrassment. There is very little positive to take from this whole Copa on their part.
I mean, it's the England of this part of the world. So, yeah, poor manager, just a poor manager. I don't know why.
He's also gone now, right?
He's gone.
Yeah, he's also gone now, and talks about Patrick Vieira, which I think will be a good appointment for them.
You think so? Wow.
Or Hervé Renard too. I think he's in the conversation.
Really, Hervé Renard?
Really?
That would
be a nice one.
Yeah.
They're aiming even higher. They're talking about Klopp.
No, he said no already. He said no.
He said no.
He's not
You want to insult me?
Yeah. He's not.
He says he's taking a year out, so he's taking a year out.
Yeah. He's not going to waste his time over there. But yeah, I mean, it's the manager is not good. The team on paper is good enough to, I think, get to a semi. I mean, depending on obviously who you're playing, but I think they were good enough to get to a semi. But like Freddie said, minimum you have to get out that group. That was an easy group. That was one of the easiest groups in the tournament. Two very clear teams, and yes, you get the red card that messes you up. Whatnot. Okay, but you're playing against Panama. You can hang on for a draw. Come on.
And the thing is, like, you can say yes, they played with 10 men, and they lost the game. You're not out yet. You still have one more game.
Exactly.
I know it's Uruguay that you have to play, but you have a strong team too. You're supposed to have one of your golden generations. So if your golden generation,
you're playing at home,
and you're playing at home. So if your golden generation, you're already scared of Uruguay. What are you going to do when you play the Brazils?
They were so scared.
The Germanys, the Englands even of this world. What are you going to do when you get to that level? Because Uruguay, yes, they're a good team, but they're not like world beaters or whatever. So I'm just scared of this kind of team. If you need to go and get results, go get that result. That result, and you were still in the competition. And I felt like they just left in with the whimper. So I mean, let's just move on and get into our predictions for this tournament. So the first category was who was our favorites. No surprise there. We all said Argentina and they won. I think this tournament was a little bit easier to predict, right?
Yeah, it was a lot easier.
Surprise team of the tournament. This is where it gets a little bit interested. Thierry said Canada, which was the surprise team of the tournament.
They did well.
To get to the semifinals, that was pretty decent for them. Yeah. Canada and the US, you said. So yeah, I said I'm gonna let you decide on this one. I said Venezuela. They go to the quarterfinal. What do you think?
They did all right. They did. I was surprised. At least I was surprised because we know Venezuela historically is not great. So at least
usually the whipping bros. They're like the Bolivia.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
they did well.
And Freddie said his surprise team of the tournament was going to be the USA.
I mean, they were the surprise team in a way.
Surprised how bad they were.
Surprised how bad they were.
In the worst possible way, man. I'm so disappointed with this team.
Yeah. We definitely expected much more from the US. All right, let's go. Let's move on to the flops of the tournament. I said that my flops were two teams, Chile and Mexico. They were flops. I'll take that.
Mexico, big time.
Yeah, yeah,
Big
and
time.
Chile too. Chile. Canada went above them, so I
That's
mean
true,
that's
yeah.
pretty,
Yeah.
that's really-
Yeah.
for a team that recently won it 2 times in a row.
That's true.
I mean
Yeah.
that's pretty poor from them. And you both said that Brazil was going to be a flop of the tournament, and
Yeah.
I think when we were talking about it, we said minimum semifinal for Brazil. They didn't
Yeah.
even get to that, so I'll
Yeah.
definitely give that to you guys. All right, top goal scorer. The top goal scorer of the tournament was Lautaro Martinez. He only started one game and finished with 5
Wow.
goals.
Yeah.
Just
Five
coming
goals.
clutch.
Clean it.
just pure clinic. Just a true
Yeah.
number 9. True number 9.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Good night.
So Terry said John
That's a-
Duran.
I said John Duran. He didn't even play. He didn't even get 1 minute.
John Duran, man. Jesus Christ. Imagine that.
My man is looking for a green card right now. He's lost. He's gone.
Trust me, man.
He's gone, man. He left.
That was bold, man. John Duran. Okay.
Oh, man, John Duran.
And Freddie had Hendrick,
Wow.
who spent most of his time just fighting people instead of
That's it.
playing, just being bullied left, right, and center.
Completely.
And I said Lionel Messi was carried by his team, the granddad.
Oh, man. Oh,
So
man.
yeah, just we can safely say we all flopped. That we are the flops of the tournament.
We are the front. Yeah.
All right, so they didn't have a young player of the tournament category in the Copa America, but you both said Garnacho. I think he played 10, 15 minutes in the whole tournament.
Yeah.
And I said Gio Reyna, and did he even play? I didn't even see him. I can't even remember him playing.
He played a little bit. It wasn't great.
If he did play, he didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
And I also said Kendry Paez. So I think he had a
It
decent.
was pretty good. Yeah, it was pretty
He had
good.
a decent
But
tournament.
this guy looks like he's 17, but he's big, man.
He's a man.
He's a man, bro. He's a man. Like if he was black, they would say cut his age, man.
Yeah. They would say check him, man. Check him.
Yeah, they would say check.
Yeah. So yeah, just a quick overview of the awards of the tournament. So the Golden Ball, top goal scorer, best player, Golden Ball was James Rodriguez. I think he had 6 assists and 1 goal. Just aging like fine wine. This guy.
Yeah.
Golden Boot, Lautaro, who said Golden Glove, Emiliano Martinez, obviously, and then the MVP of the tournament. MVP of the final. Sorry, was Angel Di Maria. Well deserved, I think. And the best coach of the tournament was Scaloni. What do you think of Scaloni, actually? What do you think of Scaloni?
I mean, interesting guy. I mean, he's risen to prominence. I mean, like he's been there since 2018, and I remember I was reading about it today, but they initially appointed him as a interim. Like they were looking for other managers.
Yeah.
He was only supposed to be there for 2 games, and I mean, 7 years later, I mean, he's World Cup, 2 Copas, and I don't know if you count that as a trophy, but the Finalissima actually.
It's a trophy. I mean, Portugal. Yeah. Portugal says the Nations League win is a trophy. So
exactly. So yeah, I mean, 4 trophies in 4 years, and they're the best team in the world right now.
Number 1.
So, number 1. So, I mean, yeah, he's done an amazing job. I don't know how long he can keep it up, but he's done an amazing job, man. So yeah.
I think his real work will start now with
the new generation.
The old guard just hanging out their books. So that's when because I really don't know. It's like for me, it gives me like Zidane vibes. I really don't know if you're good or not. I mean, you have a player. Yeah. But I just don't know what to make of you. So yeah, we'll see.
Actually, I was going to say one thing. Sorry to cut you off, but obviously he came in and he's done well. But there is a bit of an argument to say if we're looking at the last 10 years, Argentina have probably been the best team international team or one of the best teams. Because I mean, if you look at 2014,
2014 World Cup,
final,
and two finals of
2015,
Copa,
two finals of Copa in a row, and
and
then
which they
I think
lost.
2019 they didn't do well,
Yeah,
but
I mean, there's
2022
an
World Cup,
argument for it. Yeah, I mean, looking
yeah,
at it, I mean, of course, yeah, they have
yeah,
been. They've
Yeah,
always been there or thereabouts, and then
yeah,
the final
yeah,
exactly.
got
always
over
there,
that.
thereabouts.
Yeah,
Always part
finally
of the
got over that
conversation.
hurdle. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'll give you that. Yeah. So the last thing I want to touch on real quick is obviously the incidents that happened after after Argentina won the Copa America with the chants, allegedly racist chants.
Allegedly, I mean the lyrics.
Yeah, I mean, there's some people that don't really see it as racism. That's why I'm saying it
yeah,
allegedly. There's,
Yeah,
there's, there's two there's two there's two conflicting camps on this.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's not really clear cut that it is racism, and it is also well, some will argue that it's also a cultural thing over there. I mean, obviously over in the West
yeah,
you can't do that, but
yeah,
that's just labeled as racism, and,
yeah.
and that's that. But yeah, I mean, conflicting opinions on this. So I just wanted to know what you guys think about what happened in the bus. So let's just remind the people didn't know. So there's this well, the Argentinian team were in the coach, celebrating the victory, and there's this song that comes out of there, and I won't repeat what it says. You can always Google it and find out for yourself. But obviously, they're aiming it at France, at French players specifically, and I think it's a song that's they're already sung. Well, the supporters already sung after
Yeah.
the 2022 World Cup final,
hmm
and that's kept going. So yeah, go ahead. Let me hear your thoughts on this.
Man, I clearly remember that song, and the fact that they still have that song. It's been what 2 years now? They still carry on that song. It's a shame. I think it's a shame. I don't think there is any blurred line onto whether or not it's racist. It is racist. I mean, the people targeted by that, by definition, are of African descent. He's not talking about the Griezmann. He's not talking about the Theo Hernandez and whatever. He's talking about
That's true.
black people specifically. He's talking about, oh, Mbappe, your mom is from Morocco, your dad is from this and that, specifically targeting the African descent of the team of France. So it's clearly racist. The first time they had trouble with this, and that was mainly the fans. I clearly remember that was after the final. They won it, but they still went out there and sung that song. And Mbappe came out and said, "Yeah, it's okay, whatever." And I thought he should have stood a little stronger on that. Now it's pretty much part of the team now. The song is part of the team, and it is offensive to others. So from that point of view, I don't think the people who are offending should define whether or not it is racist. People have taken
Well, this is but to this point, this is what Enzo Fernandez, who posted the actual video on his
some
page
nonsense.
before he deleted it. This is what his dad came
Yeah.
out and had to say about it.
Mhm.
So he wrote a statement saying that I know who my son is. He's not like that. He's not racist. Never. It's hard for Europeans to understand our football culture, like chants and celebrations. That's what I was saying. Some people, according to your culture, will think that it's like, I don't know if you remember Luis Suarez incidents against was it Patrick Evra? So apparently he said the word but he said the N word. I'm not going to say it here so we don't get censored or whatever. But he said it in his language. So apparently in his language, it's just something that they say every day. You
They
know
do. Yeah.
exactly. So for them, it's not. It doesn't have that deep meaning that it has in the West, for example.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was Suarez's argument back in the days. Obviously, we're in the West, so he was treated according to the laws of the land, and he got that ban. So I mean, I can actually. Not to defend them or anything, but I can actually see their point, because even in our culture, there's some stuff that we as well wouldn't take wouldn't take as serious as what they would do in the West. I think I've seen that in our own culture as well. So I can see the point. I'm not defending them or anything, but I can see the point. So
I mean, the only thing is that, yes, I can see, celebration, your culture and all of that, but there is a racist tone in there. There is there are racist references that are clearly being highlighted to you that it's racist, So like, tone down, like, move it, just do something else. Yes, there is banter between clubs and teams and, what is national teams and clubs, but usually there's no racial connotation within that banter. It shouldn't be. That's at least what I wanted to add to that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I see what Freddie's saying. I see what Jan is saying. In the sense that there was
Again,
an incident.
I'm not defending. I'm just being.
No, yeah. I see, because there was an incident as well. I don't know if you remember, but with Cavani as well, where he, in a message to his friend, he said the N word, well, in that negro in which means black in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
So he just said negro, but that's what they call you. Like even here when I play like Mexican league, they'll call you negrito, negro, because it just means black. It just means black.
But I mean,
but. For them,
that's from that point of view, I understand. But I mean, the song itself,
the song itself. Obviously, you look at the lyrics.
The song is really precise, man.
Yeah, they're making fun of their African heritage and stuff like that, and like there's a racist connotation.
Those are making fun of the French team
the French team, the French
team as well, not just the actual team, the actual France as well. Right. To have Africans basically represent you. I think that's the bottom line of what the song is about.
I mean,
people of African descent, please.
That's right.
Let's not get
people of African descent, and I mean, I see both sides. They can say the culture thing, but I do think there is a racist connotation behind it. We know the history of Argentina. We know why there isn't any black people in Argentina when all the surrounding countries have black populations. We know the history.
They do have black people, but it's just we
don't see it, and it's a very small population, and we know why there is a very small population. So, I know there's a racist connotation. They're gonna say, "Oh, if you look at the lyrics, it's true." Blah 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 blah. Okay, yeah, you can say, "Well, yeah." But I mean, you look at Argentina. People don't know this, but half of Argentina's population is Italian immigrants. Yeah, I had a friend I played with in college. Yeah, I had a friend I played with in college. Is Argentinian, and his granddad is Italian. He has dual nationality. So like, there's the guy that plays for Italy, Retegui, like. He's Argentinian. He had never been to Italy, but he switched to Italian because his heritage is Italian. So, I mean, it's kind of like, yeah, you're singing about this, but you're kind of like in the same boat. I'm sure if you look at your team, I'm sure if you look at your team, probably half of you guys are Italian. But anyways, it's a racist connotation. It's classless. It's dumb. I understand fans singing it because fans are gonna do what they do.
Exactly.
As players, you should.
It's just not right. Yeah, and again, I was just being devil's advocate, but yeah, it just doesn't look right. It just doesn't sound.
It doesn't look right. It doesn't look right. And why would you video it? That's the thing as well. If you're gonna be racist,
you're so comfortable.
and the fact that you quickly realize that you're filming it and then you cut it off. It just points to the fact that you know there's something wrong with
exactly. You know what you're saying. Don't act like.
But it's just too late now, so you can't go back. So
right.
Yeah. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and wrap it up here. Thank you for your thoughts, and it's been again a great show. I've enjoyed this one today. And again, people, just like we say every time, like, share, and comment this video, and press the notification bell so you are aware of whenever we drop our next episode, and react to our videos. Give us your opinions, and just keep on supporting us, man. We appreciate y'all. All right, people. It's been a mush. Ciao, ciao.
Yes.